So it's the last day before my birthday, and since I've spent a whole year around the sun, 364 days around the sun, because tomorrow's my birthday, I just wanted to share some important lessons I've been learning as I get older. And the first lesson I've learned is taking care of my health. Now, I recently started my workout journey. I know you guys have heard about it, but I'm going to continue talking about it until, it's just a part of my life. I can't lie. I have started working out every day. And by working out, I don't mean something hardcore. I don't mean going crazy. I've been going my 10,000 steps, getting my 10,000 steps in every single day. Now, 10,000 steps, I would say, takes me about an hour and a half. Not even gonna lie. I just walk either outside, either at the gym, either on a bike. I just do something very slow paced. And I also stretch out my back muscles by, I'm gonna show you guys doing weights for my back specifically, because that is a area that I know is very weak for me because I've had a lot of back pain in the past. So it's become a priority to work on my back pain and my posture as I get older. Just because I know that now that I'm older, my body is not, as it used to be when I was younger, and I just need to do what I have to do. So that's one huge thing I've learned the past year. And more specifically, I would say the past 3 months, I've really started taking exercise more vigorously. Before, I was just working out 4 times a week or whatever, just practicing having better nutrition, because I was just eating crazy before that. Like I said, 8 months ago, I went to Jamaica. I went crazy, was eating a whole bunch of junk food, cakes, sugars, lots of champagne, lots of rum, just going out of control. Now that I can take accountability and I can be honest with myself, my trip to Jamaica, that all-inclusive at S Hotel, as amazing as it was, you guys saw the video, as amazing as S Hotel was, it took me to the highest weight I'd been in a while since I had last checked, and I was just not happy. I didn't feel good. I just felt bloated, and I didn't feel like myself. When you just know your body doesn't feel right. After that trip, I had to really detox. Just not drinking, not eating junk food, really getting back to fruits and vegetables, going to fruit stores, specifically to get fruit, eating a lot of watermelon, eating a lot of mangoes, and I'd always have that for breakfast. Break my fast with either high protein or lots of fruit and vegetables. That's something I do every day now. And I'm always planning out what I'm gonna eat. Even if I go out to dinner, I'm looking at menus, I'm being more focused on what I'm going to do, what I want in my body, what my schedule is, just being more organized. So I'm just slipping and sliding into points, so just bear with me. Being organized has been something that has really helped my headspace. Kitchen clean, mopping floors, no plates, table wiped down, bedroom, bed made, just staying as organized as I can on the day-to-day so that my mind can be more calm. Sometimes when I'm not organized, I haven't made my bed and I go out and I have a crazy day, it's kind of rough coming back to, an unmade bed. It just feels so much better waking up and coming to a nice bed. It feels good to do my laundry once a week instead of letting it pile and having to fold so many clothes. It just feels good to have a schedule for certain things. As someone who also works independently, I am self-employed. I have some businesses, and I also need to schedule time for that. I have to promote my businesses. I have to create products. I sell stuff online. I have I sell digital products online, actually. Nothing related to anything you guys know, but maybe I'll do a YouTube section about that, because it's something that just kind of blew my mind. Like, I never thought that that could be like a career. You know, I'm very organized because I went to school for accounting, and I've done that professionally for 5 years. And before that, I was in management. Like I said, I've done a lot in my life, and I have a lot of skills, and I'm just utilizing them to sell digital products. And a lot of people tell me that I'm like a business girly. I don't see it. So people tell me, girl, you a hustler, like you've been always getting to the bag, and you know, you travel around, like you're always in a new place. Like, I've lived by myself in Miami. I moved to New York City. I currently live in Mexico. So I'm kind of like a mover and shaker, right? Like, I'm always going here, wherever it's more fun. Like I said, I'm a fun girl. I like to do fun things. I like to be outside. Miami, I used to live in Vancouver area. I'm not going to say Vancouver. Everyone says they live in Vancouver, but they really lived in a suburb. So I lived in Vancouver area, but in a suburb that I won't disclose, just because, you know, privacy and stuff. Like, but in that area, I was like an hour away from Vancouver. But in that area, it rained all the time, and it was just so depressing. It was beautiful. It was green. Don't get me wrong. It was like an amazing place, but I just couldn't take the rain. I lived there for a long time, and I just wanted a change of scene. And I moved to Miami, and there I just fell in love with the sunshine and the beach. You know, I was like a beach girl. I lived close to the beach. I actually had an apartment on the water. Now, are there alligators? I don't know. I didn't see them, but people had boats out there, yachts and different things. That was the first time I experienced kind of luxury, especially on my own terms. I found a job there, moved with a bestie at the time. We ended up not living together very quickly. We just had different personalities, and we just outgrew each other. We just got sick of each other, whatever the case may be. We stopped living together. I found another roommate there, and we got along really, really well. And eventually he left the apartment, and I got another roommate, and she was in the nightlife. I was a corporate 9-to-5 girly, and our lifestyles were just not compatible. So instead of fighting for rent and fighting about paying bills on time and stuff, I was just like, let me try New York City. Let me try a different place. So I moved to New York City. My fiance actually is from there, and you know, I went there, and I was like, let me check it out. And I stayed with him for a little bit, and then I moved out with some roommates who were also pretty cool too. And it was fun, but it was pricey, and I was paying for parking. I was paying for a car, and car insurance was super expensive. Inspections in New York, you got to get your car inspected every year, and I had tints, and I didn't want to take them off, and it was like a little bit extra to pay a guy to keep my tints. I've sold that car since, which was great. At the time, I got a lot of money for it because I had sold it during inflation. So I don't know if I got a lot of money for it, or just the price of the dollar is different, but whatever the case may be, I sold it, bought a new car in Mexico. So like I said, I've been a mover and a shaker. People who know me are always like, girl, you're just all over the globe. How do you travel so much? How are you not afraid? How are you even online? You know, you're on YouTube, you're on TikTok, like, you know, just being online. I'm just a digital girl. What can I say? I tried to hide it. You know, I made a YouTube a long time ago, which is crazy. I made a YouTube like years ago. My first YouTube is actually still there. I just don't know how to access the YouTube password, but I made a song from Nicki Minaj. It's actually viral, but I don't even know how to access that account, so I can't really get into that. And I made another YouTube video on a different account because I made a new YouTube account at that time, and I was just talking about how depressed I was. I made second official YouTube during COVID, and I was just talking about how depressed I was, and like I was working this job in New York and I was unhappy, and I was a much bigger person, like just weight wise. I was 30 pounds, probably 40 pounds heavier at that time because I was just eating like trash, and I was super depressed, and New York for me was a huge shock. I wasn't ready for 16-hour days, just work and like super expensive meals, really small apartments in the city. I wasn't ready for the reality of living in New York. I think I'd watched too many New York TV shows and thought I was gonna be like, you know a TV show I'm talking about, so don't play with me, okay? I thought I was gonna be like, girlfriends in the city, Louis Vuitton and this and that, and you know what show I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say it out loud, but just in case they censor me or whatever. But you know what? In the city, I thought I was gonna be like Carrie Bradshaw in the city, Black Girl Edition, and no, it was a different surprise. I was not ready. I was not ready for rats outside, just like people just up all day and night, like motorcycles at 3 a.m. in the city, and you're trying to go to work, and people are partying, and just people drunk on the streets yelling, and you can hear them, your neighbors not going to bed early because they're partying and they have a different lifestyle than you. It was crazy. It was fun, but it wasn't what it was cracked up to be. And luckily at the time my job was remote, so I was like, let me go to Mexico, let me try this. And that story was kind of crazy because my boyfriend, it was actually my fiance now, but he was my boyfriend at the time. It was his birthday in September, and he was like, him and his friends were gonna go out to New York, and I was like, okay, to Mexico. And I was like, okay, whatever, have fun, like, see you later, alligator. And after a while, it ended up being like a couples trip. So we went to Mexico, and I actually fell in love with Mexico. I really enjoyed my time there. We went to Tulum. And at the time it was like pretty affordable to live, and I was like, okay, let me go back because I am working from home. Like, let me see if I can finesse this job and see if I can work in Mexico, but really be getting, that New York cheddar. So yeah, I told my boyfriend at the time, I was like, yo, listen, my lease is almost up, and I don't want to renew the lease, and I'm thinking about going to Mexico. This is the perfect time, because like with travel, like I'm all about ebbs and flows. Like I be living lease to lease, okay? I follow my lease agreements because I'm not trying to go to court, not trying to pay that. I'm just a steward of good lease. I'm a good tenant, okay? My landlords love me. A lot of them kept the prices pretty affordable for the most part because I pay my rent on time. I'm very responsible. Like, I don't play. That's just who I am. I'm very organized, accounting girl, okay? My finances are always A1. Like, I know my finances well, and that has allowed me to like budget and like think ahead and put money aside, save up, be very researchy. Like, I'm like super researchy. I'm like a super nerd when it comes to like just uncovering information I really want to know about, right? Like, if I want to travel somewhere, I'm going to Google the crap out of a place, like hours and hours, until like I know what I need to know to get the best deals. And that's how I be traveling. I read reviews. Like, I'm on my P's and Q's when it comes to just life, because lessons of life have taught me to be prepared. Life is easier when you're prepared, when you make decisions before decisions make you. You know what I mean? If you know that you don't like a job, I'm the type of girl who's like, okay, I'm gonna leave before I get fired. Like, I'm gonna leave. Like, if I'm unhappy and if I don't feel like I'm being appreciated, if I don't feel like my job is treating me well, if I don't feel like the area I'm living in is working out for me anymore, it's time to go. It's not personal, but I gotta get a better quality of life. And maybe it's from my parents because they moved from a different country to live in Canada, and I just saw the hustle and grind it took for them to transition, and that kind of always stayed with me. and motivated me that if my parents could move from a foreign country to go to a new country, I could do it too. Like, you know, I've been a minority in a lot of places. In Canada, I went to a high school of like 2,000 people, and then there was like probably 8 people who looked like me, 8 POCs, 8 black girls, okay? I don't know what you want to call it, because we weren't African American, we were just black girls from different parts of the world, okay? Or dark skinned, I don't know. I'm not getting into that conversation, but you know what I'm saying, okay? And that was a lot, coming from a place where I was a majority, moving to a minority place. That was a different experience. So now I kind of pop my bubble, because it's like, I'm used to being stared at. I'm used to being, you know, misunderstood or just whatever. Like, I stand out everywhere I go. My facial features are different. I don't look like somebody a lot of people know, right? I don't have hairstyles that a lot of girls do. I just be doing me. I don't know, it's a Gemini thing, but I decided, hey, like, I just want to share who I am with the world and inspire other girls who I know make moves and are usually loners, because that life can be lonely. Traveling a lot can be lonely. And luckily I was able to meet my fiance on the road. And I know you guys are gonna ask, why aren't you wearing your ring? And you know, like, it's at home and it shines so much. That's a whole story for another day. But I do have a ring, an engagement ring, but it's so shiny and like, I love it, but it's a lot. So I will show it, and I will tell a story about how I bought it, because I've been traveled all over the world to find a ring, and that ring was amazing. So that's a story for another day. Please write in the comments, the ring, how did you find the ring? Because I went to several countries looking for this ring, or several places. So anyways, yeah, I'm just talking about what I've learned. Man, I've learned so much. It's like going on 16 minutes. So let me just cut this short right now and probably do a part 2. But thank you guys for everyone who's been watching. I really appreciate you guys. Get to know me. I'd love to get to know you guys too, because I really enjoy this, and I definitely want to make this just something I do every day, you know, step into myself and share it with others, because maybe there's other people like me. You know, it's hard for me to find friends who just get like the mental state I'm in, and like just the places I've been, experiences that have taught me things, and like, you know, the things I worry about nowadays are just a lot different than what others may worry about. And you know, I'm not a weirdo for just thinking the way I do and having the mindset I have. It's just not for everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and everyone's not my cup of tea, but there are people whose cup of teas I fill, and I fill people's cups of teas, and people's tea fills me. So it's just finding your people, and I'm just on the search to find my people. And if you're one of them, like, you know, subscribe, because it's a vibe just being real and being unapologetically you. That's what my fiance told me yesterday. He's like, you know what, Cece, like, you're just unapologetically you, and you don't lie, and you say what's on your mind, and that's your gift and the thing that people hate about you. So just be you and just see how that works. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So this is cheers to me a day before my birthday, just keeping it real and sharing what I feel and what I've learned with you guys. So I hope you enjoy this video, and next one coming very soon. See you later, and thank you for watching Exploring with Cece.